I invite you to walk with me through the long corridors of deep time, where the world as we know it has been repeatedly remade. In a voice steady with wonder and concern, I will guide you across oceans and continents, through storms of ash and curtains of darkness, to witness the moments when life itself was tested to the limit. Imagine seas that roar and silence in turn, forests that flourish and then simply vanish. Such are the memories preserved in stone. Around 444 million years ago, I picture a world dominated by shallow seas, teeming with brachiopods, trilobites, and the earliest coral-like builders. Then, like a slow exhalation by the planet, the climate turned cold. Ice advanced from the poles and swallowed low-lying continents. Sea levels fell dramatically, the shallow habitats contracted, and habitats that had been vast and generous were reduced to isolated pockets and refuges. Marine life, accustomed to broad shelves, suddenly found themselves confined to fragmented oases, where competition intensified and many species could not cope. Nearly half of all marine genera disappeared, not in a single roar, but in a prolonged, steady fade as climates shifted and the chemistry of the seas changed. For millions of years after, life rebuilt itself, but in different arrangements and with new faces. Between roughly 375 and 360 million years ago, the world endured not a single catastrophe, but a drawn-out unraveling, one that marks our next station on this countdown. I sense oceans growing strange in their chemistry as oxygen levels dipped and vast swaths became inhospitable. Reef builders, those architects of underwater cities, found their works collapsing. Corals dwindled, stromatoporoids dwindled, and with them an abundance of fish and invertebrates. These losses did not arrive as a single blow, but as a series of pulses, each one stripping away diversity and compacting ecosystems toward fragility. The Devonian seas became places of shadow and silence where vibrant reefs once stood. On land, forests were spreading, altering the carbon balance. Weathered soils funneled nutrients into the seas, exacerbating algal blooms and oxygen depletion, a complex interplay of terrestrial and marine forces. Chapter 3. At the climax of our countdown stands the Permian Triassic event, about 252 million years ago, the mother of all extinctions, the most profound planetary reset in Earth's history. I relate in solemn tones the sheer scale of disappearance. Over 90% of marine species, a grievous proportion of terrestrial organisms, simply ceased to be. It is a boundary in the rock record where life's abundance is cleaved in two. I speak of the causes with careful measure: colossal volcanic eruptions in Siberia, unleashed floods of lava, vast quantities of greenhouse gases. Oceans warmed and became stratified, their circulation failing. Acidification multiplied the mortal blows. Anoxia multiplied the mortal blows. The atmosphere and seas were transformed into environments where many organisms could not breathe, where many could not feed, where many could not reproduce. Chapter 4. About 201 million years ago, our planet recorded another decisive upheaval, one that quietly yet irrevocably altered the course of terrestrial life. I speak of massive volcanic activity and environmental tumult that removed many competitors, clearing ecological spaces on continents and in the seas. This extinction unfolded as an opening for new dominions to rise. Certain groups vanished, while others, waiting in the wings, expanded to exploit the newly vacant niches. The demise of many early archosaurs and other reptile lineages paved the way for the great radiation of dinosaurs, who would come to dominate terrestrial ecosystems for the next 135 million years. Volcanic outbursts and changing climates reshaped habitats, favoring organisms capable of rapid expansion and ecological opportunism. Chapter 5. At the crescendo of our countdown comes the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, roughly 65 million years ago, an event sealed by a catastrophic impact and its cascading aftermath. An asteroid the size of a mountain strikes the Earth, casting fire, ejecta, a cloak of dust that would extinguish sunlight and chill the climate. The immediate effects were apocalyptic. Wildfires raced across continents. Tsunamis reshaped coastlines. A pall over the skies dimmed photosynthesis, collapsing food webs from the base upward. Non-avian dinosaurs, the colossal protagonists of Mesozoic landscapes, vanish. Their reign abruptly ended, but the story does not end in emptiness. Rather, it transforms. With the extinction of dominant lineages, ecological spaces opened for mammals, birds, other groups. They diversify and radiate into forms that would ultimately include our own species. Outro. We have descended the ladder of deep time and witnessed 5 great recalibrations of life on Earth, each one a story of loss, endurance, and eventual renewal. Remember, volcanism, climate, chemistry, and cosmic collisions. Their consequences were measured in millions of years, yet these narratives illuminate the fragility and resilience of ecosystems and mirror the changes we now impose. Let deep time lessons guide our stewardship, for the choices we make today will be the geological legacies of tomorrow.